Video I discussed some really important stuff. So if you have not watched the video, I suggest you please go up there and watch it before we proceed. So in this video, I'll be discussing about the ultrasonic sensor as I promised. This particular sensor is HC-SR04, the very popular ultrasonic sensor. You can find the link to it in the description. So let's get started. So let me just explain you how the ultrasonic sensor works. So the most basic way it works is you have a small kind of a speaker here and a small kind of a receiver. They're not exactly speaker and receiver, but let me explain. So this emits ultrasonic waves, as the name suggests. Okay. So whenever there is an object in front of it, these waves hit this object and travel backwards. And those waves are detected by this one. So there is a 2D distance traveled between these two, and the sensor knows the speed of these ultrasonic waves, so it can easily calculate the distance. So this is how they work. Now I'll show you some simple wiring. So as you can see on the ultrasonic sensor, we have something called VCC, trigger, echo, and ground. So these 4 pins are what we are going to connect. So I'll be using a simple breadboard. So what are the connections are? So VCC goes to the 5 volts, ground goes to the ground of the Arduino, and echo goes to one digital pin and trigger goes to other. So just simply plug in all that and use some jumper cables to finish it. So let me just do that. So all I have done is I have connected echo and trigger to pin numbers 9 and 10, VCC to 5 volts, and ground to ground. Okay. So now let's proceed to the next step, the programming.
So let's start the coding part. I already explained you how to code in the previous videos. Okay, so be sure to check them out because in this video I'm gonna go a little bit faster. So the ultrasonic sensor has an echo pin and trigger pin. Just put them to 2 different digital pins. Okay, so in my case int echo to 10 and int trigger to 9. Define 2 more pins called the duration and distance. Sorry, they're not pins, just variables. Okay, also just define one more device, LED, just so that I can show you the working of the sensor. So I'm going to put the LED on pin number 2. So int LED equal to 2. Okay, now in the setup part, let's start the communication. It's going to be serial.begin 9600 baud rate. Okay, now we have to define the pin mods. So, pin mod echo pin is going to be input pin. Okay, echo is always an input pin, trigger is going to be an output pin, and LED is obviously going to be an output pin. Duration and distance are not devices, so don't include them in the pin mod. Okay, now in the loop part, so there's a scrap value in your echo sensor maybe. So to flush that out, let's just say we put the trigger pin to low for few milliseconds. So digital write trigger low for 2 milliseconds. Okay, in the next part, let's set the trigger pin to high, that is true for about 10 milliseconds. Whenever the trigger pin is high, your sensor is measuring distance. Okay, now the next important part is now we have to calculate the time it took for this pulse to go and come back. That we are going to use a function called PULSEIN. For the sake of simplicity, I'm not going to explain what PULSEIN function is. But yeah, I'm going to include a link in the description where it is very clearly explained. I suggest you please go up there and look to it. Okay. So now the PULSEIN function gives duration. So now duration is equal to PULSEIN echo comma high. Okay. The next part will be we have to calculate the distance from the duration. The speed of the sound in air is 343 milliseconds. meters per second, sorry, 343 meters per second. So in this case, distance is equal to duration into 0.034 by 2, because I already told you that wave is actually traveling twice the distance. Okay, now just for the sake of showing you, I'm gonna say let I'm gonna make the LED glow whenever the distance is less than 10. Okay, so now whenever the distance is less than 10, if distance less than 10, LED high, digital right LED high. If distance greater than 10, digital right LED low. Well, that's it for the coding part. Now let's just go upload it and check if our code is working.
Okay, so after that coding, let's test if the code's working. So I uploaded the code onto the Arduino, and remember we have programmed it such that distance is less than 10, the LED glows. Okay, so I don't know if you can observe, but if the distance is less than 10, the LED is glowing. Okay, the reason the LED is a bit dim because I couldn't find the perfect way for it. The resistance is a bit too high, and that's why the LED is glowing a bit too dim. That's the only reason. So if it doesn't go for something that's larger than 10 centimeters. So if it's 10 centimeters, the LED glows, or lesser, but not more. Okay, so that's all for this video. In the next video, I'll definitely find something cool to show you. So I'll meet you there. Be sure to like, share and subscribe this video, as this may help you in the next science fair or in the next science project you want to make with your friends. See you there. Bye.